Well, hello there, everybody. Yeah, I tell you what, I love that album, After the Gold Rush. Have stories to tell behind that one, guarantee it. So, hello, everybody. How you doing? Happy Thursday. Good to see you. Favor be upon us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. BOSTO. Virtual hug. Yeah. This guy's getting used to this thing, it's like, hey man, I really dig this. So yeah, we just we think of everyone as we give that virtual hug. Since we can't hug everyone in person, we can certainly do it virtually. So uh it's great, man. I look forward to it. What can I say? So how is everybody? Good to see everyone. Hello, moderators. Thank you all, and welcome all you beautiful light emissaries. How about that? I like that term. People say, well, what are you? Well, man, I'm a light emissary. What can I say? Well, what the hell is that? Well, it's exactly what it says. We're light emissaries. We represent the light. And then, you can take it from there. So, hey, Jay, what's up? Jill, Bonnie, Gaia, good to see you. Peter, Chris, how are you doing? John, Kent, good to see you. Carol, let's see. Sarah, how are you doing, dear? Wasn't that, you know, we just got some of the best people. And Sarah, so much love. I'm gonna have her back on, and I want to mix her energy with the energy of everyone else. And I mean, miracles happen that way, folks. That's how it happens. One of the interesting things that I learned as an observer when I was involved with the large evangelical crusades, the large traveling evangelist, and organizations. In my case, it was primarily the Kenneth Copeland organization. And, I volunteered with others then, where we would be ushers and then we would help, in the healing lines. Gloria Copeland had each Saturday morning healing school. And it's an interesting thing that takes place because there's a built up anticipation that something's going to happen and that you are in the right place at the right time where the creator of all things is going to come down and the angels will stir the water. And one thing I can tell you, the miracles that I witnessed personally was simply this. People came anticipating receiving something. And what they were looking for was a point of contact. And when that point of contact was reached, it was their faith that released what became a miraculous healing. And it's it's quite interesting. You've seen it now. We don't see it these days because of what's taken over humanity. But back in the day, and the thing that I'm trying to draw attention to is the fact that if you come expecting, whether it be good or bad, and once you establish in your own heart what that point of contact is, and when that happens, that's when things manifest. So there we go. That was free. That was no charge at all. So so glad that you're here. By the way, someone said, and Sarah, was it you that said it? I get up really early. When I say early, it's like 4 o'clock or earlier, and the moon is just absolutely beautiful. It's just a perfect full moon. The last 2 mornings, we've actually opened up the drapes and etc. because the moonshine is so bright, you don't need the lights on. you can literally do whatever you normally would do at that time in the morning where you'd have to have lights on. The moon is so bright, and the way that it shines in, it's setting directly in the west from where I'm at. And anyway, yeah, it's very, very cool. And again, you know, there, depending on what your knowledge is, there is those who believe that there is tremendous energy during full moons, and there's many who believe that in the black moon, which we call a new moon, there is energy as well. So, hey, Gaza, what you doing? So glad to have you. Nina, what's up? Put your crystals out. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Jasna Frakes, virtual hug, that back at you. Ellen's. Yep. Let's see who's else here. Hey, Robert V is in the house. Barry Chad and Isby is right there along. So tonight on the Steiger Perspective, artistfirst.com, 10 p.m. Eastern. Put yourself in your own time zone where I'm at in the Mountain Time Zone, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Tune in. I was actually going to read you just a little snippet, but that voice inside of me said, don't do that, dude. So I ain't going to do it. And all I got to tell you is you really need to tune in. And I want to say, and I believe I am correct in this, I want to thank all of you who tune in. From here on YouTube. And there's another audience that tunes in as well. But I'm telling you, folks, I believe you have made the Steiger Perspective the #1 show on artistfirst.com. I think I'm right in saying that. So thank you. Much appreciated. You know, it's an honor, and it's something that I enjoy doing. And tonight, Robert V, all I got to say is strap in the seatbelt. Best that you actually have a 5-point seatbelt, because you're really going to need it. That's all I got to say. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm really telling you, it really is true. Listen, we have one of our soul tribe, Laura. Laura, hello, my dear. I love your emails. Thank you. I owe you one, but I will be getting back to that. Hey, Loretta, thanks. So Laura wrote me and said she knows of a full-time position to anyone in our tribe. Not sure if anyone has the experience. She knows of a job of an AutoCAD experienced individual. And if you have experience in AutoCAD and happen to be looking for a job, please email me at steigerrwayne@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with Laura. And Laura, thank you, my dear. Such a sweetheart. Thank you. That's how that works here, you know. And Laura is actually spreading prosperity. Now, I don't know if there's anyone who has AutoCAD, but if you do, let me know. So that's so cool. You know what I mean? So what else have I got going on? Tomorrow would be Card Friday day. That's going to be cool. And just really digging the vibe. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful day in a midst of a world that is, wow. I mean, changing. Hey, Sarah Horton, I found something, and I wish I had it because when you were on, but check this out, folks. So I've got this PDF, how to be a master of chi. And it's really cool. Sarah, I was thinking about you as I was reading this, and this is a and Sarah could probably speak to this better than I can because I'm just a novice. But from what I am reading in this, wow, it gets It gets very detailed. You know, it's apparently, if you get into chi and really begin to understand the philosophy, begin to apply it to your life, there is incredible power. What I have read, and it's amazing because we all have certain, how shall I say, aspects where we have a stronger natural ability, tendency, whatever. And chi helps you find that as well. I find it to be really very soothing. I was taught very early in life um, transcendental meditation. And what I found very early in life is that there are these key connectors within all the disciplines. So anyway, if you want this, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. I think you'll find it has great references. It's is detailed. This to me, to be candid with you, as I went through it, and as you see, as he continues to scroll, it's about 70 pages. I would put this on an academic level that definitely, if you take the time to read the entire book, you're going to have a well-founded foundation. So, yeah. So, dig that. I wanted to get into some of the things that, as I continue to observe the thing we call reality, I don't know, what would you call this place? Reality is becoming so ambiguous in its definition. It's, it's like, again, trying to herd cats. Um, Darth, you're going to have to email me, buddy. So that's the best way I can tell you. I'll be more than happy to do it. Um, so, uh, well, you're welcome, Sarah. Yeah, it's knowledge, folks. It's gnosis. You can't ever get enough. Oh, I keep having the, how should we say, the glimpses, I don't know, of the spirit realm. And it is a very complex realm over there. This is a complex realm. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And if this realm is a mirror of what that realm is, it makes you think this, that you go, okay, so we're born of parents, right? Male, female. And, coitus takes place, conception occurs, that moment conception occurs is enough energy to destroy this whole universe. We don't understand it. We don't understand how to capture that energy, but it is real. And so when we come into this realm, there are natural laws already established. Doesn't matter whether you believe them or not, or if it goes against your doctrine or particular point of view, doesn't matter. There is in this realm what we call the universe. Although none of us have ever seen the universe, we only have seen our little world, our little sphere. But these natural laws bring, I guess you could say, order, chaos. So if that's true here, and you have two parents, supposedly, brings you in and, nurtures you, protects you, although not all humans have that luxury, and prepares you how to begin to accept this realm. I don't think it's going to be any different for us when we pass over on the other side. We have been deceived and lied to hide the secrets, the hidden secrets. That's why religions flourish. The reason why people go to religions is that they're trying to make sense of death. They're trying to make sense of, well, what happens to me when I leave this realm? And religion provides a very easy shake and bake solution. You adapt to the religion and, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's taken care of. However, if you were of the other mindset and said, well, now wait a minute, ain't buying that. So then you're left with is that, okay, so then how do I find it? You have the metaphysical, I think does an excellent job of trying to define something that's undefinable. And within the occult, there's even greater knowledge of what the other side holds. But in all this cases, and it's just me, I mean, I have the Golden Dawn here, and that is a book that, well, it's 1 second, folks. It is, and I think those of you that have read it, it's a complex book. It is a book of hidden secrets. I mean, quite frankly, I have not read every page on this. I use it as a reference textbook. It's loaded with incredible amount of knowledge. To many of you, this is Rigardi's version of the Golden Dawn. And when I look at this, and I look at, this is my copy of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. This is a beautiful edition. If you can see it here, it's one of my favorites. And within this book, it's again filled with the hidden secrets of the pharaohs. And I can read all the prayers. I can read all of the incantations. I get a really good explanation. You begin to have an understanding somewhat of the hieroglyphs. You begin to see what certain figures, and you can begin to see them throughout. And the one thing I found about this book, and I use it again, much like a textbook, this one I've actually read through, is, again, it's that hidden knowledge. What is the other side? Now, the Egyptians had well, I got to tell you what, it was pretty freaky, in my opinion. It would be so alien that I wouldn't even call it human. As I'm sitting here and I'm remembering the pages there, I'm going, well, maybe it wasn't human. I mean, you want to talk about hybridization of species, I would say that one definitely is in that classification. And it's no different than what we have today. Depending on what your flavor of tea is, we all, I guess, in one way or another, begin to anticipate what awaits. And I guess the question that I have, we've often assumed this only because of the teachings. And I question the teachings. I think they're erroneous. I think that everything today in the world religions is wrong. They may have fragments of truth sewn within them, but by far they're all wrong. And the reason why I can say that is that they can't all be right either. And if one is right, well, then all of them are wrong, including the one that says it's right. So that leaves me to go and say, all right, so what's up, man? We know that there are forces, there's energies, there's spirits, there are beings. And if the other side is a representation of which this side was built upon, then that tells me no one's gotten it right. I mean, it only takes a simplistic idiot to actually believe that there's either a heaven or a hell. I mean, come on. How freaking ignorant do you have to be to stoop to such stupidity to believe that crap? Raise your hand if you believe that shit. For a long time, I did. There's no doubt about it. And I laugh because I laugh at myself and we have a good time. I mean, if you think about it, in a universe that is beyond our comprehension, we don't even know what the hell we're staring at. We've got satellites, we've got telescopes, we got all that out there. We got our science, we got our theories. Yeah, I get it, I get it. But on a whole, we don't know shit. I mean, we're scratching our ass going, I think that might be that. I mean, we've been so wrong in our science. That's why I said modern science is outdated magic. Magic will tell you what's out there. The thing about magic, it will take you out there. You don't need no telescope. Don't need no satellite. But we've been taught not to believe that. Well, that's that nonsense. You don't really believe that, do you? Come on. Come on. Yeah. I mean, that same person would say and believe that there's either a heaven or a hell. I mean, come on, folks. So from the way my point of view is that it's all been erroneous. How the hell do you find out what really happens? Well, near-death experiences help it, but the interesting thing about NDEs is that when it's all said and done, there may be absolute comparative similarities in thousands and thousands of cases, but when you get right back down to it, it's still the individual. It's the individual who's perceiving such and such. It's almost as if there is an energy veil that those who know, and I do believe that there are those, I do believe there are books, I do believe that there is knowledge that shows us exactly what over there is. And once you can get that settled, that makes this time even more productive because it begins to allow the crystallization of focus into what your mission and purpose is. Psychologists have proven this, that the average human being spends approximately about 3% of their brain in the current now. Well over 90% of consciousness thought is about death, the future, what awaits. The remainder looks to the past. And so if you can see this, if you can become, I don't know, is aware the right word? I don't know. Aware. All right, I'm aware. Where you have that settled, well, then that allows you to divert huge amounts of what I call concentric energy back into your current focus. Now I'm going to throw everyone a curveball. So what the freak is all this leading to? Well, you see, if you're going to be a god on the other side, I mean, you're not going to be a human being. That's idiotic. The human being part, that's over here. So what are you going to be over there? Well, I tend to think that either I'm going to be a god in the ranks of the masters, of the magi, or am I beautiful spirit being? May go back to the planet I came from. I don't know. Am I a human being? I don't know what that means. Am I an earthling? Well, I definitely know of the experience of an earthling now because I've adjusted to being one. I don't think I was an earthling when I first came into this realm. I don't think you were either. We had to adapt to that. You are now an earthling. Wait a minute. I don't think so. Because much like Jenny, with her son telling her what heaven was like, gave it a description of what the color, what you do. How did he know that? How did Theodore know that? Because I think it's still connected to it. And it's interesting because my hypothesis is that we're all not from the same place. We're not all from the same origins. All of us are here for an experience. We originated from somewhere else, but we're here for the experience. What is it like to be an earthling? Well, it's, you got to admit, all in all, it's a fantastic experience. I mean, it has exceeded all of my expectations, and I marvel at it. But I'm at that stage is where I also marvel at my spirit. I love my spirit. I have really come to love my spirit. I didn't recognize my spirit for decades. I thought I did. I mean, hell, I thought my soul was saved. Never said anything about your spirit, just your soul. But yeah. And once you begin to understand that the essence of who and what you are, and that obviously there is going to be an orientation of some kind to the other side. I think that, where we get the evidence of poltergeist, ghost and what have you, as you call it, and there's plenty of evidence on film that shows that there's something. We coexist in inner dimensions. And I'm convinced that for many, it's going to be a very rude awakening. Most people that I know are basically good people. And good is defined by, I say being able to live with, next door to, or in the same vicinity. That way, you don't have a construct that's, but anyway, but I do believe that there is this place that some go to where the debt that they have incurred in this manifestation, in this realm, is of such of egregious nature that it violated the laws on the other side. And that's really something that really blows your mind when you think about it. You can be here and violating the laws over there. Now, I don't know how long we stay over there, but it would seem that if a human being, an earthling, can violate the spiritual laws on the other side and then pay the consequences, or what is called karma, the karmatic debt on the other side, it kind of really kind of mixes it up in the old washing machine. But that's how I see it, because it's very, I do believe, and I've been over there, touched it. Many of us have touched the ethereal. Many of us who do lucid dreaming, astral traveling, remote viewing, these are all real talents. This is not metaphysical BS. It can be taught and it can be learned. That tells me, because I've seen I can remember a song in my head, many of us have seen them. We've seen us, I think. And that's why I think the variety. So where am I going with all this? I mean, it's a great deep thought idea. Most people don't think about it. And, once you get over it, then you realize that it's an adventure. It's going to be a wonderful adventure. Well, I think for most of us, I mean, I've invited you to the beach. When you cross over, just look for, Steiger's place, and you'll see it be Steiger's Beach, and come on down, and everyone is welcome. There's never a frown. We always turn those upside down. So and it's a great place. Good music, good food, the best wine. Anyway. Let's see. You can teach yourself to love. That is so true, Ellen. Absolutely. I can dig that. Yeah. Ellen, it's Wayne's Beach. Absolutely. Come on in. It's a great place. It really is. You'll love it. Gaia, I did not know that. I'd love to have you and your husband on if you ever want to come on. I'd love that. That is a great topic, spiritual remote viewing. Gaia, write me if y'all would love to come on. Love to have you. That is cool, because you literally can do it. It's not spying and it's not voyeurism. Because if that's the case, all spirits are voyeurs. I mean, what do you do with that? And I don't know what the modesty code is on the other side. I mean, I really don't. I mean, is there a morality clause in there or something? Well, you're allowed to look at them, except for when, I don't know. Does nudity even matter as a spirit? I often wondered that. I mean, I did a whole video on, asking the questions every person needs to ask before they die. I mean, such as, well, how do you see? How do you taste? How do you talk? We see spirits, ghosts. We got them on recordings. What are those? Are those humans or are they aliens? If you're a spirit or a ghost, how do you know where the floor is? Does a spirit have effects by gravity? Does gravity impact a spirit? And does a spirit know that it can't float, or can it fly, or what? Why do we see that some spirits walk? Why do we see that some spirits float? I don't know. You see? These are the questions. Go and look at the archives, and I may pull it up and we'll do a second look on it. But there's a list of questions I give for every spirit that's going, because we're all going to cross over. I mean, so when you start thinking about, can you eat? Or is it like the scene in Ghost, when Patrick Swayze gets off at the train station, and he's got the one ghost that's trying to explain to him how you have to concentrate in order to move something. And remember what that guy did, long hair, and he said that he got so angry that he broke the cigarette machine and all the cigarette packs spilled out on the platform. And he said, if I could only have one smoke, and so what, you just, do you not get hungry? Have you ever asked yourself, where does this energy come from? How does a spirit being exist if it's not taking in any replenishment of energy? I mean, these are the simple questions I ask. I'm a simple man. That's why I'm not bothered by, oh, the spooky ones, the devil, the demons. I mean, if they manifest, what the fuck are you? And you're an ugly son of a bitch is what you look like. Are you a human or are you an alien? If you're an alien, get the fuck out of my... And I'm just literally what I've had to say to him. We understand the vulgarity for some reason. Spirits seem to... It has real concentrated negative energy. Go boom, But seriously, that's... And I apologize for the profanity, but it's true, though. Why should I be afraid of another human being? It's kind of my question that got me out of Christianity and out of all religions. Why should I worship another spirit? Why would a spirit need to be worshiped? I mean, seriously. Now, I'm not an ingrate. I appreciate the fact, I say it all the time. No matter, sometimes if I'm, out astral traveling, doing the dishes, I will give thanks to the one who gave me consciousness. I'm not going to worship it. Gratitude and thanksgiving is not necessarily groveling to worship. I would think that since I've been granted consciousness, as you have, that the journey now is to develop my consciousness. It would seem like that is the goal, and it seems like this is a phase of it. I look forward to seeing what the other side is. When that moment happens, you take a deep breath and then you let the spirit go. And just dig the ride. Oh, yeah. Nina, isn't that the truth? I have said that many times. I have seen spirits pass through, none stay, because I take the same attitude just like you do, Nina. If you're going to hang around, then you're going to do chores, man. I mean, don't think you're going to hang around in my house and have a free ride. Oh, no, 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 no. If you can move something, you can move a broom. You can move, whatever. But seriously, I'm just reading some of this. Scotty Boy, now that's a good question. Why do I have to pay to live on a planet that I was born into? I did. How many of you remember the Hidden Hand document? This was a really interesting read. If y'all remember, here it is. Remember always that this is a beautiful game that we are playing here and co-creating together with our infinite creator. And that off stage, between lives, we are the very best of friends. And that no one really dies and no one really suffers except in the game. The game is not reality. Reality is reality. And as you have the power to express your reality within the game, once you have learned how to do so, windows of opportunity open up. Mm, mm, mm. Now, remember, in this case, this person is supposedly from that bloodline that still dominates us accordingly. Remember, he says, I am a generational member of a ruling bloodline family. Every so often, as per the directives of the law of our Creator, a brief window of opportunity opens, whereby a select handful of our family are required to make communication with our subjects and offer you the chance to ask us any questions you would like. And go back, we didn't go through the whole document, but again, if you want this, just email me. It's quite interesting because the questions that were asked and how the answers were given, it clearly shows that something we either submit to something or we've been hijacked. Because it's very clear that even in our government, we are chattel, we are subjects, we are subjected, which is the root word of slaves. So, how? Now, I don't like the idea that if I'm a slave here, I'm going to be a slave over there. I don't like that idea. I don't like it at all. Because I don't like being subjugated. I think that's why I have such a adverse view on religion. I don't think any human being should be subject to anything. Subjugated to a thought, an idea, a dogma, an ideology, a theology, is a slave. I remember one of the passages in the book of Isaiah where it says obedience is better than sacrifice. I don't want to be obedient. I've never found that to be a path that ever was appealing to me. Never did. And I don't know, maybe I paid a price for it. I don't care. It's just not appealing to me. And so, hidden secrets. The only way that I have learned what I have learned is because I've studied the occult deeply. I have studied the occult with the same passion, the same hunger, the same insatiable appetite that I did the Bible. The thing is, I spent decades over in the Bible side. Been about a decade and a half, maybe a little more on this side. 2 decades, yeah. And what I've learned through the occult has changed me. I see things now that I never saw before. I have paths of thought, doors that lead into new arenas of thinking. I don't see the thing in the material world anymore. Those things that were once desirable have no pleasure at all. I was in NASCAR for many years. Worked with Richard Petty, worked with the late Dale Earnhardt, late Davey Allison, all of them. Was an avid race fan. F1, Indy, Champ, NASCAR, modifieds. I was there. I raised corporate money for these teams to get the corporate sponsorship. That's what I did. Did that for a while, and it was quite exciting. But now, that has no appeal. I'd rather be reading than watching something. Because there is a sense and urgency within me that says this is the time to gain the knowledge. Learn as much as you can, acquire as much as you can, store as much as you can. Everything that you read, everything you experience, you may not be able to remember with your cognitive mind, but I can assure you, your spiritual mind, there is a spiritual brain. It mimics these brains. And when you cross over to that other side and you're free of the energy that it requires to activate the 5 physical senses, then those memory tapes, those memory files come back. Yes, Carol, there is a reason why they don't want us reading those books. It's like, oh man, they're reading the book. Oh, this is, what are we going to do? They're reading the book. Yeah, we are. And we're learning. It's exactly what we're doing. We're learning. And the more we're learning, we're going, oh, those dirty, rotten sons of bitches. They lied to us. They lied to us. They made slaves out of us. What? Remember, let's see, folks, when I come here, I make sure that your time is well spent. And remember when I did the story that we're all slaves, how the New World Order, and oh man, was this a freaking prophecy or what? But how it shows where we are at the bottom of the food chain. I mean, that's a lot of weight. Hee-ho, hee-ho. For 50 years you will slave, you will pay the taxes that we put upon you. You've got no choice. Hee-ho. That's exactly what we're doing. And then they get us all against each other. They get the politics, they get the religion, and then you got the social media, the bad girls, the bad boys, Yeah. Hee-ho. Hee-ho. And that's exactly what they do. Just to let everyone know, the New World Order is not something in the future. It's something that has already happened. Yeah. We don't want to say anything about that. But it's here. So, yeah. Love that. And trust me, there that was a whole series that we wouldn't have time to even begin to get into it. But divide the house, that's it. The proverb is true. A house divided against itself cannot stand. A marriage divided against itself will not last. A nation divided against itself will not stand. A company divided against itself will not survive. Armies. The reason why they put them through boot camp and through the training is to get their minds to be in unison. Think as one. The group thinks as one. The unit becomes one. The platoon operates as one. The battalion functions as one single platoon. That's how it's done. I'm just reading some of the comments. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's funny. So all of this is leading to eventually, if you look at what we are as Earthlings, it could be contended that unlike a tulpa, which is kind of a one-dimensional creation, flesh, not blood, flesh, that we are a collection of servitors. Our personalities, when we come in here, are blank slates. We have a propensity for traits, characteristics, attributes, talents. But in essence, our personalities are pretty much blank. It is said that the first thing that the human being learns to do is to create very early servitors. These servitors are unseen, as personalities are, but nevertheless very alive, as personalities are. And that as we get older, there becomes a hierarchy within our personalities of the servitors that we have created to serve us. Our servitors serve to express what our spirit being feels. Our servitors have the ability to help acquire things that, as we find with other servitors, what they want and crave. We stand in the background as a maestro conducting an orchestra where we have many servitors within our personality working in unison that allows that flow to connect between what we call personality, ego, and consciousness. It's just a theory. But it does explain a lot of how different we are. How some people have stronger personalities. How some have more manipulative personalities. The vices. I mean, you can literally assign anything within your personality and you stop and really think about it. Is that you? Is that really you? Or have you created something that has followed you all of your life? Have you found that you were not even aware that you were creating subservitors without even knowing it? I like that, Loretta. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery, starve it out. There you go. I love that. That is cool. And next week, we're going to get more into it. I'm going to tell you, we're going to get really deep. And by the time we finish this, you're going to be able to see something. You're going to be able to create actual living tulpas, but you're also going to be able to, how should we say, form the bond with maybe aspects of the personality you possess, those attributes that sometimes drive you crazy. They're a servitor. What's happened is that you have lost connection to them. Well, hell, Wayne, I don't talk to myself. The hell you don't. We all do. We all do. And as we become adults, some of these servitors become so old. Oh, it's really deep when you get into this. I mean, and you begin to realize then how you can, it's almost, I see crystals, if you could see a crystal growing out of this, that how you can actually shed these servitors. Servitors die, but many times their shell, their husk, still is attached to us. And it's a disruption of your energy flow. So anyway, I'm just reading some of the comments. Well, folks, I'm going to end this a little bit early. I still have copy. I'm writing for the Steiger Perspective. Yes, that's what I do. I actually write my own copy. I edit my own copy. And then when you hear me go on Artist First, it's a well planned out production. That's what it is. And so I can guarantee you tonight, tune in. The title of the show, by the way, well, since I'm so much at the end of this, is coup d'etat. Yes. So join me. It will be an hour of riveting subject matter. You will be glued to your listening device. It's true. Thank you, Joe Sapien. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jules. Hey, Lucky Stone, how are you, my friend? Helen, thank you. Karen Lynn, good to see you. Susie Q, hello. Barry Chad, good to see you. Sarah, you'll enjoy it, Sarah. Absolutely. Robin, good to see you. And Carol, thank you. Posey and Robert V. Thank you, sir. Much honored. I love you all. You all just beautiful people. You're light emissaries, and it's a joy to come here and spend this time together. I mean, there have been friendships that'll last beyond this realm here. There have been meaningful, tremendous work done, healings. There have been just so many good things that this group has continued on to do with. Party on there, John Price. Right arm. Absolutely. Much love to you, Sarah, as well, hon. Eyes to see. How you doing, Marie? Good to see you. Lost in Space. Darth and all the rest of you. Jay Birch, good to see you. And Mad Cow Perkins, good to see you. And Spirit Woman Colorado. David Castle, thank you, sir. And David Barry and Big Al and Perry. So good as well. So see you tonight. And then see you tomorrow for the Friday card day. All right. Peace out, everybody.